or bench. Oh my god, I can't even. Ah! Like I. Oh! Oh! I need to calm down. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't ever want to be one of those people that's like, oh my gosh, I'm such a good person. Why does everyone treat me so bad? Because there's only, like, well, let me not say that, because I guess it's a case-by-case basis, but, like, specific people, like, they be lying. Like, you're lying. You're not a good person. You're not a good person. And you're lying to everyone. That's why everyone treats you so bad, because you're a demon. But anyways, me specifically though, I'm not no evil person. And maybe I have imposter syndrome for sure. But I feel like if I was, first of all, I stay to myself. I don't go out of my way to bother nobody. I don't go out of my way to bully anybody. I don't go out of my way to do any harm to anyone. Now, given I am a little bit unstable at times, but every single day of my life, even when I'm like on the edge, every single day of my life is spent trying to better myself, not only so I can be better for me and my own life, but be better for other people. Is it a linear path right now? No, because I'm genuinely going in zigzags. It's not straight. I'm still getting there though. It's a zigzag line. It's not a straight line, but it's still on the way there. So I'm trying to figure out why there's just constant, and maybe that's just something I need to learn. Actually, no, because I feel like I know why the cycle keeps repeating, because I keep I don't know, I feel like I need to set more boundaries with people. I feel like I need to speak up for myself more, because that also adds to it, because all the time, like, someone will do me wrong, and because I'm like so stuck in this victim mentality, I'm like, oh, what was me, like, oh, why do you hate me so much? I kind of just don't say anything. I sit back and I'm just like, oh, well, maybe I did something, maybe I did. No, because it's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. There are people out there who will genuinely go out of their way to make other people's life a living hell. Now, given we're all human, no one is gonna be perfect. Like, you can't just go around and be like the most perfect human being. And like, there are a lot of people who are low-key like close to perfect, but even then they're not perfect. That's why I said close to perfect. It's not 100%, because like I said, we're all human beings. But there are plenty of people in this world who are like the epitome of just like heaven on earth, and so just like angelic and everything. I'm trying to figure out why I keep getting surrounded by the ones who are constantly putting on a mask and pretending like I know that's what our society encourages nowadays, but I know there are those spaces with more people who are authentic. Like, I know there are, and given I have, let me not act like I've never met other authentic people, because my best friend, love her, Angel, love her, my entire heart, my family, my siblings, all of them, like, all of these people, my friend Gideon, for instance, I don't know if he cares about being name dropped in this, but yeah, all of those people, like, and there's more, like, I'm leaving out a lot of people, but I was just naming the people that I most recently spoke to. But yeah, all of those people, they are the living example of not necessarily being perfect humans, but being the best humans they can be, and learning to evolve and change every day. Where is I even getting with this? I'm just irritated. I'm just so irritated, because I feel like just I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't know where to start. I'm just so tired. Like, why? I'm not gonna name drop the place. It'll probably be figured out eventually. And I'm not trying to sit up here and stir up drama. I'm really just giving an example. And I don't see how it would stir up drama, given that the place was just a cesspool of drama before I got there. But, and given I did have my own faults when I was there as well. But it was more so just a byproduct of the absolute reluctance I had when I was there to just do anything, because I was so stuck in this spiral of just mental turmoil, because it was such a terrible environment. The nature itself, like the environment itself, like Earth is never terrible. Earth herself, Guy, she's never terrible. It's always the people and the spirits that they bring with them that make it terrible. But anyways, let me get to the point. I came from this place. It was kind of like a work trade internship, and basically, just as a summary, that was like so many people there. And no, let me be honest, because there was a group of like really good people, and then, not to say that like it was organized that way when I was there, but I kind of like grouped everyone in their own groups mentally. But from what I witnessed, there was a group of very good people, you know, people who actually want to move forward and enlighten themselves and like do better with their lives and take accountability and blah 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 blah. And then there were these specific people, and most of these people, unfortunately, in the other group were higher ups, or I want to say like people with quote unquote more experience. Once again, I'm not going to place any names because I'm not trying to have no one come for me and be like I'm stirring up turmoil and drama. And I will always take accountability for the role I played in situations. But from what I witnessed, and even with me like hearing stories from other people who are at that same place, that same establishment, who dealt with the same exact issues I was dealing with, and it would make more sense if me and these people had similar personalities and everything, and similar temperaments. We don't. These are completely different people going to the same things and telling me the same problems I have, so I can't be a crazy person. But anyways, back to this specific group of people, and I don't want to call them bad people. I feel really reluctant to say that, because like I feel like you have to be a specific type of person to be considered a bad person. But I do also think that there are people who have the potential to be really good people and want to be seen as good people, and like they kind of will be on this momentum for a bit of like trying to be a better human being, trying to better themselves per se, read all the self-help books in the world, and, you know, work out, do health I don't know how to pronounce it, regimen but yeah, like see them dedicate themselves to all this self-care, blah blah blah, and they have such high potential to be good people, but I don't know how to, like, their mentality just keeps them in this, how do I explain it? Like the type of people who like want everyone to see them as a good person, but the things they do, oh my gosh, like they want people to see them as a good person, but they'll do like really, I really want to say evil. I'm gonna use evil for now, but like I don't feel like it's fully evil when they're doing it, but I feel like a lot of the time those specific behaviors are on the pipeline to being fully evil, because a lot of times these people go unchecked because no one is really, and what's crazy is we live in a really like overcorrective society right now. Like everyone wants to be the morality police, so you think in real life more of these people would be held accountable, but you only see that stuff on social media, which kind of circles back around to my point, like people wanting to be seen as a specific, like as a specific type of people wanting to be seen as something specific, but not actually doing what it takes to be that, or not actually like doing the work that needs to be done to get like, I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. But I don't even remember where I was going. I'm kind of just yapping, like just that specific group of people they all had, like obviously there's all different people with different personalities, but the thing about these type of people who fit into this category, they all have the same, I want to say temperament. I don't know how to explain it. Like, yeah, like what I just said before, like they all want to come off as like this experienced, oh, I've done all this self-help, all this self-care, all these meditation sessions, and I journal and I do this and I go to therapy all the time. And a lot of those things are really good, but you have to allow them to help you, and you can't just use them as a scapegoat to say that you're a better person. But yeah, these people were all into that types of stuff, you know, like authors writing their own books and everything. But then when you turn around and interact with them on a daily basis, it's like you could see right through them. And I think what hurt the most is because, like I said earlier, they had such potential to be good people. Like you could see, and I think that's something I definitely need to learn how to navigate myself. And yeah, I definitely do think that's something I need to learn how to navigate myself, and, you know, set up better boundaries, and also use my discernment more, and kind of learn to remain in my own authenticity when it comes to situations like that. Because I'm the type of person, if I start feeling like, a lot of people call me cold or like standoffish for this, and given like I am a shy, I say like I say it really depends on the day, but I am kind of a shy person per se, but not that much. Like I love interacting with people. It's only when like I sense a specific energy for like, okay, for instance, so let's go back to this group of people. So yeah, they were just type of people to like pretend to be good people, and it's not even like they were pretending. They had such potential to be good people, but it's just the way they operated. It's like you don't want to do the actual work, you just want everyone to see you that way. And I think early on I kind of caught on to like who would actually be my people and who are the people that I want to hang around. Now, given one of these people who I thought I made a good judgment on ended up being the opposite, unfortunately, but I think that's just more of a reason for me to up my discernment and stop ignoring any hunch that I get or any signs that I get, trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. But anyways, yeah, I kind of, that entire time, sorry, yeah, that that entire time while I was there, like, employed, well, technically employed at that establishment, I kind of just stayed to myself, and I tend to do that in a lot of situations now, given, like I said before, I do have to work on my discernment a little bit more, because I used to be a really isolationist person just in general. Like, it didn't matter, but that really just stemmed from, like, just like overall anxiety and not knowing if I could trust people, trust issues, everything. But I've been learning how to refine that a little more. And even back then, like, a lot of the times that I did that, it was within reason. But, you know, like, when you get too used to a certain behavior, you kind of bring it into situations that it doesn't need to be brought into. And of course, yeah, that did affect my relationship with, like, a couple people, but we ended up talking it out and moving forward from that and learning how to move forward. But yeah, anyways, I definitely isolated myself from these people, and this has happened before in many different fonts. But the fact that these people were, because it was different when I was in high school. You know, you get the typical, oh, she thinks she's all that, like, she doesn't want to hang out with it. No, you're just messy, and I like my peace of mind. See, it's different in high school, because everyone's like, well, I say it's different. I feel like once you get out into the real world and you still stay on that type of behavior, something is mentally wrong with you. Like, you are very childish, and obviously there's something that you haven't really processed, or certain behavioral patterns that you haven't really got past, and you don't know how to operate as an actual person without resorting to those for comfort. But yeah, and you know what sucks, because, like, as I'm talking about high schoolers with this behavior, because you would expect high schoolers, that's high school for you. Like, in high school, I kind of just stayed to myself. I really only had I had a lot of acquaintances, but I didn't trust most of them. I really only had like 2 friends, because I could sense they had good hearts and good spirit. And not even just I could see through their actions. Like, they're not going around talking about people behind their backs, making problems for no reason, just trying to live, just trying to survive. But anyways, the specific group of people I had to isolate myself from, because it's like, it was so weird. Like, my heart is just pounding talking about this, because it was such an uncomfortable experience. And I don't like to be one of those people that's like screaming like, oh, demonic tendencies, because I hate when people do that. I call everything demonic. But genuinely, I'm not gonna lie, like, I just felt so weird almost every single time I was around these people. Like, I felt like I had to protect my energy extra. Yeah. And what sucks is, a lot of the time in those situations, you don't have any actual proof. And I think that loops back around to the whole, like, pretending to be a good person thing, because, like, you don't have any actual proof unless you're around people who pay attention. Because, like, these people will pretend to be good people, do everything they can, you know, like, do as many shallow or surface level good deeds they can, so no one can turn around and be like, oh, that person's evil, because, like, they have their rather minuscule actions to rely on for people to vouch for them. But then behind the scenes, they'll do stuff like talk behind your back, you know, spread your name to other people, you know, just like spread hatred and secret gossip. It was just, oh, even when they're talking to your face, like, you have to really pay attention. Because I can name at least, well, no, it was really only one. Every time I would speak to her, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, maybe we're getting along, maybe we're vibing, maybe we're on the same level. And then she would kind of just, like, try to subtly make me feel like I'm stupid. Like, I genuinely felt like I was going insane. And it's not like she would blatantly be like, oh, you're stupid. But it's just like certain conversations we would have. Like, what's an example? Okay, I remember one time someone in the room was asking, like, hey, have you guys seen a broom? Basically, hey, have you guys seen a broom? It's been missing around the place, just like asking everyone if they saw it. And I say back to her, I'm like, yeah, maybe I saw one. What does it look like? This lady goes, a broom. She doesn't say it exactly like that, but like, it's like, I don't know. And I feel like it's like situations like these, like that's what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like if I have to feel like if I have to go overboard to read into every single interaction I have with you and convince myself, not even like, if I have to convince myself that you meant something with goodwill, maybe you didn't really mean it that way. But yeah, it was multiple situations. Or like ask simple questions, and this lady would generally like look at me like I'm stupid. And I just hated having these interactions. And I think that's just one example. I'm really just going on a tangent right now. And it's like I can't really feel, even though I feel like these people I feel like I could see straight through them. It's like I was circling back between like this feeling of just like repulsiveness from them versus like, wow, like you actually have some good aspects as a person. Like, if you weren't secretly weird, you would generally be someone I would enjoy being in the company of. The specific aspect of you, but because you don't know, because there's a certain part of you that just dedicates yourself to, I don't know if it's out of protection, I don't know if it's out of just like the people you hang around, I don't know how to describe that energy, but because of that energy, I just can't, like, it makes me sick to my stomach, and I don't like that feeling. Like, I don't like switching between, oh, maybe I'm being dramatic and I should be comfortable with you, versus, okay, you're weird as fuck, okay, you're fucking weird, get away from me. I don't like that feeling, and I'm never gonna go out of my way to make someone feel like they're less alive. I'm gonna call you out, and I did call one of these ladies out because she had, and given like what hurts the most is like what I was just talking about. Like, she has said, like, I had plenty of conversations with her before that. Like, she just seems like she would, if she really dedicated herself to it, she would be the most amazing person in the world. Like, she has so many wonderful aspects about herself, but it's just like the weirdness and the inability. I'm not even going to say the inability, because these people have the capabilities to change, to be different people, but it's just the ego. Like, a lot of people think that working on those parts of themselves would be abandoning themselves because they already claimed it as a part of themselves. Like, I've literally heard this lady like call herself a bitch before, so I figured that was the case. And yeah, I did have to kind of be like, hey, so this is not what we're gonna do. This is not what we're gonna do. Given it was kind of, I would say on my part, I maybe should have took a different approach to that situation, because it did kind of, I want to say escalate things, but of course, like, no one, the keeping up appearances part, no one made it seem like it escalated, but behind the scenes the tension was very obvious, and I ended up having to leave that place about a week later. But anyways, yeah, it was just like a pattern of just like what, like, some main things I noticed from these people is just like lack of accountability, And I wish it was just like a simple lack of accountability, but it was a mixture of lack of accountability mixed with taking accountability that feels manageable and leaving all the larger aspects to everyone else in the situation. It was really frustrating. And this place was supposed to be like a community per se, but I could never really get into that community aspect because a lot of the people preaching community didn't actually have what it takes to build community. They like the aspect of community, but they didn't want to do the work to actually build community. I hope that makes sense. And I kind of feel like the imposter for almost the entirety I was there, given like I said, there were a lot of people who made sure to not make me feel outcasted, and those specific people I did feel like I was in community with, but it was just like this constant clash. But anyways, I'm just irritated with those type of people just like putting on an image. Why are you putting up an image? And I think that just goes to say I need to stop gaslighting myself. I need to use my discernment more, because at the end of the day, you can have full capability to be a good person, but if you're not actually doing what it takes to be that, then all of it is void. Like, it doesn't matter how much potential you have. I'm not gonna make myself feel guilty for distancing myself. Like, no. Like, if you want to be something, be that. And like I said, I will always have to look myself in the mirror and figure out where I went wrong. I will always have to do that. And I will, if I'm ever avoiding accountability, shoot, I hope, and not to say like it's other people's responsibility, but I do hope, I know there will always be someone there to hold me accountable if I was truly in the wrong, because I do have a good support system who have the same values as me. So I do really appreciate that. Dang, I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, like, even I wanted to cut this short, but I have more to say. So, but yeah, like, I was talking about revenge earlier, and I hear all the time, like, oh, don't wish for revenge, you're gonna be just like those people, blah 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 blah. How would that benefit any of us, to be honest? Because at the end of the day, like I said, like, if you, maybe I don't really mean revenge. Maybe what I mean is like retribution. Because a lot of these people, like I said, they go unchecked because, like, a lot of the time they're not blatantly evil. They're not like, they don't make it obvious, but it's always the subtle patterns that you notice, or like the slick jabs or the silent, you know what I mean? So because they kind of come off as just like, oh, I'm just human and I'm trying, no one really will go out of their way to be like, hey, you need to get your shit together, because then it will come off as an attack, like, oh, you're attacking my character, and but yeah, I've been in a lot of situations with these type of people, like, because this was such a temporary experience, I want to say that I completely just like will let that go, but even then, like, some things still kind of linger from that situation. But given, it's like, I feel like I learned a well needed lesson from it. So it's okay. I feel like it's easier to let go. And like I said, I still see the potential for good in these people. And it's not like there was really like one guy out of that entire like subgroup that I would say truly cannot be redeemed. So I'm gonna let the others off in my head. I mean, I need to for my own peace, especially because the others have, and that's the very thing I mean. Because yeah, the others, they did good things. They did like really good, like human nature appealing things. They've helped people, they've done a lot of charity, they've, you know, like offered resources to people. So I feel like I can't really not chastise. Well, no. Yeah, I want to say chastise, but that's not the word. I'm looking for another word. But yeah, I think I gaslight myself into, at the end of the day, yeah, I do think I definitely gaslight myself into convincing myself not to hold them accountable. That's the word, accountable. Well, no, that wasn't the word. But yeah, I guess this is kind of like general. Like, we as people will gaslight ourselves as to not hold people like that accountable, because it feels like sowing discord and starting drama, opposed to actually just pointing out someone's character flaws. But I feel like that shouldn't be a thing, because at the end of the day, like, you would want someone to hold you accountable. Like, if you say you're a good person and you want to be a good person, you can't go your entire life just like doing things and never, because since none of us are perfect, since all of us are human beings, you know, you're not going to be able to just completely omnisciently judge yourself from a third person point of view. Be like, oh yeah, here's what I did. Like, of course, like self-awareness, that's the main thing, but your self-awareness only goes so far, you know. So you're always going to have to, yeah, there are going to be a lot of situations where someone else is going, if you don't see the wrong you did in a situation, if you don't necessarily see the wrong you did in a situation, yeah, a lot of the time someone will have to, and not even necessarily have to, if you have people that care about you in your life, there will be someone there to hold you accountable. So I feel like we can't really, and I think that just kind of, my ears are ringing. I think that just kind of made me sad, because now that I think about it, like, obviously these people don't have relationships that they can rely on that will hold them accountable for certain things like that. I'm wondering if they are just in environments where everyone is kind of putting on a facade or a mask and just trying to push past things without actually, just trying to push past life, just trying to push past situations without actually acknowledging the reality of situations or of the behavior. Like, you know, those people, they kind of just try to move on and forget about things instead of actually processing the full situation, because if it's in the past, then it no longer exists and I don't have to worry about it. That's not how this works. But yeah, these people definitely get away with not having to take full accountability or accountability at all, because of the fact that they come off as well-meaning good people. And maybe they are well-meaning good people, you know, sometimes, but I'm really referring to the times where they're not, but they're still stuck in this delusion of trying to convince everyone that, oh yeah, I swear I'm a good person. I was just reacting to my situation this way because this isn't like, that can't be the case for every situation. There are going to be some situations where that happens, yes, because you can have reactive behavior. No, we're human. But at the end of the day, I feel like these people will use that excuse for every situation they land in, and they can never actually accept their role in situations where they weren't reacting to something reasonable. They were genuinely the problem. And I have run into so many people, and I think the main reason I made this video is because I'm low-key just trying to figure out, like, what is it about myself that keeps attracting these, not even necessarily attracting these type of people, but it's just like, because if I'm being honest, I don't really have to deal with these type of people in my close vicinity unless I'm either at a specific job in a specific environment, like high school, for instance, or even when I was on campus and I had specific roommates that would act like this. I feel like I never have to. It's always I always meet those type of people in environments where I want to say, what's the word? I want to say environments where you have to make an impression, but I don't think like environments where you're being seen by more people, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but it's still specific environments like work, school, that I run into those people. It's never in my of course it's not my close circles, because why would I hang out with you? I feel like the last time it was like that in my close circles was when I was in middle school and I dropped those 2 lies quickly. As soon as I left middle school, I dropped them. So it's not like I don't know how to distance myself from these people. I think a lot of the time I do, and maybe that's the problem, because people like that are going to exist everywhere. You can't escape. Like, no matter what, there's always going to be someone like that, because there's 8 billion people on this earth. Like, even though there are a lot of good people, there are a lot of people with that temperament. And like I said earlier, since society kind of encourages that, and not even necessarily encourages, since it kind of goes unchecked, because everyone is all about appearances, I feel like more of those people are roaming comfortably. But dang, where was I going with this? Yes, like, I think I just need to use that use all of those situations, every single situation that ever happened, because sometimes these situations would have me really stuck in a spiral, trying to figure out where I went wrong, especially because the other person would never take account. Like, this person could drag me through the mud, spread my name to everyone. I have never, and I'm not trying to come off as like a self-righteous individual, but I have never girl but yeah, anyways. Like I was saying, I have never, damn, what was I saying? yeah, I'm not trying to come off as a self-righteous individual, but obviously I have to be able to know about myself and know how I am and be able to speak on who I am without that imposter syndrome. And this is low-key my practice right now. So yeah, in my life, I've never gone out of my way to spread that type of vitriol and just like speak about people behind their back, you know, make them feel less than, go out my way to gossip, go out my way to slander someone's name. Like, and I always try to think like, okay, maybe there was a time where I probably did that and I didn't really pay attention to the harm I was causing. And maybe there was a time like that. I feel like, especially mainly in maybe like middle school, from ages like, I want to say 11 to 13. Yeah, I don't really remember, but there's a large chance that I maybe did put someone in a hurtful situation like that, and for that I do apologize. And if like it ever comes to it and this person needs to speak to me about it, I mean, they don't have to, of course, if that was the case, if I did do something like that, but you know, like, I never want to sit there and act like it didn't happen. Like, I'm gonna want to take accountability for that. But yeah, like, I want to say consciously, I've never gone out of my way to do that because I don't find joy in that. Because I myself know, even like in middle school, I don't know, I'm 21, bro. But like, I gotta refer to other periods of my life to use as reference. But yeah, I myself know that any person doing stuff like that obviously just needs a reason to feel better about themselves, you know, put themselves on a pedestal or kind of distract the attention away from how they feel about themselves. So I know that good and well. So I feel like if you are the type of person, and like, yeah, we're human, like we're gonna act out of insecurity, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like that's more, not to say it's acceptable behavior, but it's understandable behavior. And like I was saying, middle school age kids, or like kids around kids younger, it's not acceptable, it's not good, but it's understandable because kids that age are learning how to come to terms with their insecurities and learning how to deal with it in a healthy manner and not project it onto other people. But yeah, I feel like it gets to a point, because it doesn't matter how much potential you have to be a good person. Like, you could be a good person in every other waking hour of your life, but once it gets to behaviors like that, you're gonna have to start to question you're gonna have to start to question yourself, because what are you actually gaining from behaviors like that? What are you actually gaining? What are you actually gaining? And I feel like I'm constantly, and what drives it in is, I feel like I'm constantly on the receiving end of situations like that. And I would understand, but I would understand if I was more of a talkative person and I was like telling everyone my business and like, here's a little, and I was on the same energy as these people and just like talking smack about, then it would be real well deserved. But every time I've been through a situation like that, I never say it. Like, bro, every single time I've been through a situation like that, like, I've always been the silent person in the situation, because I don't like confrontation. Not that I'm scared of confrontation, but I just don't have the energy. And I know how I can get. Like, like, you know, those dudes who'd be like, yeah, you don't ever want to mess with me, I see red. Like, no, I see red. Don't mess with me. No, like I generally get crazy in situations like that. I mean, not as much as I should have in the past, but I have the capability. I have the potential to get crazy in situations like that. And dang, I think that just opened up a lot. But yeah, every time I'm in a situation like that, you know, like someone is slandering my name, going behind my back, you know, trying to come off as a good person, but then like trying to plant seeds of just like hatred and drama. Even if it's not just like directed at me, I can't be around people who do that in general. So I'm not really just talking about myself. I guess I'm kind of just using my own situations as an example. But yeah, every single time I've been in a situation like that, like there's never actually a reason. Like it always starts off so petty, and I'll always be the silent person in the situation. Like I'm not gonna go to you and be like, bitch, what'd you say about me? You wanna? No, I'm never gonna come up to you, because who has time for that? Who has time for that? And maybe I'll, not to wish that on myself, but maybe there'll be a time where I might have to do that, and that's but I'm just really saying, in the past I was never on that type of energy. Even in middle school, like I keep bringing that up, like I feel like the craziest I've ever been was like ages 11 to 15. I was just angry. I was just angry all the time. I was just angry at the world. But even with that being said, like I never went out of my way to bring other people down with me, is what I'm saying. It was never a priority for me. Even did I maybe do that to people that were close to me unwillingly, inadvertently? Is that how you pronounce it? I hope so. Did I ever do that indirectly? Yes, most likely. I'm not even gonna say most likely. There's like a 99% chance that I did do that unknowingly, and I have to take accountability for that. Not only did I have to take accountability for myself, but I have to take accountability for the ways I might have harmed other people in the process. But I would never went out of my way to do that stuff willingly. And the fact that there are plenty of people who do that willingly but still turn around and like try to, and let me go back to the people specifically that I've dealt with. The fact that there are so many people who like, they want to have this good persona and they want people to see them as this good person, but will still go behind the scenes and do stuff like that. It just irritates me. And I feel like this situation just kind of opened up, like I let stuff slide. I was really angry about society letting stuff slide, but me specifically, I let stuff slide like that way too often.